These are 10 of the oldest weapon manufacturers in America still used today. As far as weapon systems are concerned, having the best available can be key to success on the battlefield. But with rapid changes in technology, some weapons come and go rather quickly. Other times, weapons are so well designed and so effective, they stay in service for decades. (10) UH-1 Huey. The UH-1 Huey is a utility military helicopter powered by a single turboshaft engine with two-blade main and tail rotors. The first member of the prolific Huey family, it was developed by Bell Helicopter to meet a United States Army's 1952 requirement for a medical evacuation and utility helicopter and first flew in 1956. The UH-1 was the first turbine-powered helicopter to enter production in 1960 for the United States military, and more than 16,000 have been built since. The UH-1 was originally designated HU-1, hence the Huey nickname, which has remained in common use despite the official redesignation to UH-1 in 1962. The UH-1 first saw service in combat operations during the Vietnam War with around 7,000 helicopters deployed. (9) M61 Vulcan. The M61 Vulcan is a hydraulically, electrically, or pneumatically driven 6-barrel, air-cooled, electrically fired Gatling-style rotary cannon which fires 20mm rounds at an extremely high rate, typically 6,000 rounds per minute. The M61 is the United States' primary armament for fixed-wing aviation. After entering service in 1959, the gun saw extensive use in Vietnam by all branches fighting in the skies. The gun was credited with shooting down 39 MiGs during the war. Since entering service in 1959, the M61 is still found on America's fighters and in the Navy's Fallon Sea Wings. (8) M14 Rifle. The M14 rifle, officially the United States rifle, is an American select fire battle rifle that fires 7.62 by 51mm NATO ammunition. It became the standard issue rifle for the U.S. military in 1959, replacing the M1 Garand rifle in the U.S. Army by 1958, and the U.S. Marine Corps by 1965, until being replaced by the M16 rifle beginning in 1968. The M14 rifle remains in limited service in all branches of the U.S. military, with variants used as sniper and designated marksman rifles, accurizing competition weapons, and ceremonial weapons by honor guards, color guards, drill teams, and ceremonial guards. (7) KC-135 Stratotanker. The Boeing KC-135 Stratotanker is a military aerial refueling aircraft that was developed from the Boeing 367-80 prototype alongside the Boeing 707 airliner. It is the predominant variant of the C-135 Stratolifter family of transport aircraft. The KC-135 entered service with the United States Air Force in 1957. It's one of the 6 military fixed-wing aircraft with over 60 years of continuous service with its original operator. The KC-135 is supplemented by the larger KC-10. Studies have concluded that many of the aircraft could be flown until 2030, although maintenance costs have greatly increased. The KC-135 is to be partially replaced by the Boeing KC-46 Pegasus. 6. M60 Machine Gun. Adopted in 1957 as the U.S. military's general-purpose machine gun, the M60 actually borrowed liberally from the German MG-42 machine gun speed system, while it also used the operating system of the FG-42. The result was a gas-operated, air-cooled, belt-fed 7.62mm machine gun that was technically a crew-served weapon, meaning a team of 3 would transport, load, and fire it, but it could still be handled by a single soldier. Meant to replace both the M1918 Browning automatic rifle and the M1919A6 Browning machine gun, the M60 was introduced in 1957 and was perhaps the best Cold War-era general-purpose machine gun. It saw use in Vietnam, but has been used in nearly every major conflict around the globe since. Five, B-52 Stratofortress. The Boeing B-52 Stratofortress is an American long-range subsonic jet-powered strategic bomber. The B-52 was designed and built by Boeing, which has continued to provide support and upgrades. It has been in service with the United States Air Force since the 1950s. The bomber is capable of carrying up to 70,000 pounds of weapons and has a typical combat range of more than 8,800 miles without aerial refueling. For more than 66 years, B-52s have been the backbone of the strategic bomber force for the United States. The B-52 is capable of dropping or launching the widest array of weapons in the U.S. inventory. Updated with modern technology, the B-52 is capable of delivering the full complement of joint-developed weapons and will continue into the 21st century as an important element of our nation's defenses. The Air Force currently expects to operate B-52s through 2050 and be replaced by B-21 Raiders. 4. The M2 machine gun. The M2 machine gun, or Browning 50 caliber machine gun, is a heavy machine gun designed toward the end of World War I by John Browning. The M2 uses the much larger and much more power 50 BMG cartridge, which was developed alongside and takes its name from the gun itself. It has been referred to as Ma Deuce in reference to its M2 nomenclature. The Browning 50 caliber machine gun has been used extensively as a vehicle weapon and for aircraft armament by the United States from the 1930s to the present. It was heavily used during World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Falklands War, the Soviet-Afghan War, the Gulf War, the Iraq War, and the war in Afghanistan in the 2000s and 2010s. It's the primary heavy machine gun of NATO countries and has been used by many other countries as well.
It's a machine gun! Machine gun!
3. The Browning M1919 machine gun. A testament to the designs of John Browning are that in addition to the M1911 is the fact that he also developed the innovative water-cooled M1917 30 caliber heavy machine gun, which truly improved upon the Maxim and Vickers designs that were used during the First World War. But he didn't stop there. He then improved his own design with the M1919 Browning, an air-cooled medium machine gun. The belt-fed, recoil-operated weapon had a reasonable rate of fire ranging from 400 to 600 rounds per minute and an effective range of 1,400 meters. While the development of general-purpose machine guns in the Cold War relegated the M1919 to a secondary role even 100 years later, this 30 caliber weapon is still very much in use today. 2. M1911 pistol. The M1911, also known as the Colt 1911 or the Colt Government, is a single-action semi-automatic magazine-fed recoil-operated pistol chambered for the .45 ACP cartridge. Designed by John Browning, the M1911 is the best known of his designs to use the short recoil principle in its basic design, and it endured in service for over 100 years. The pistol became an icon for its strength in battle and by those who used it. The pistol was widely copied, and this operating system rose to become the preeminent type of the 20th century and nearly all modern centerfire pistols. Modernized derivative variants of the M1911 are still in use by some units of the U.S. Army Special Forces, U.S. Marine Corps, and the U.S. Navy. One, M1903 Springfield. The M1903 Springfield is an American 5-round magazine-fed bolt-action surface-repeating rifle used primarily during the first half of the 20th century. The M1903 was one of the first rifles to use the famous 30-06 round and was the standard American infantry rifle during World War I. Although officially replaced by the M1 Garland in 1937, it was still in service due to insufficient numbers of Garins. Due to its balance, the M1903 is still popular with various military and drill teams and color guards, most notably the U.S. Army drill team.